You know, the reason that brought me down here, or one of the reasons, besides wanting to see you guys, was the perfect excuse for me, but not for you guys, Passion Project being the new album. So if you guys don't mind, we'll talk a little bit about that.
The Friendship album?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So how did that get started? It's been years in the making, right?
You want to talk for a while?
You go, man.
Okay.
You're better qualified.
Okay. Well, what happened was I've been writing music since I've been in college, you know, and creating songs and as after the Wolfpack, you know, I decided to create my own. I wanted to start recording a studio, so I started my own recording studio, and I worked at DJ's Music, selling gear and buying equipment at cost, so I could start my studio. And so as we were starting to compile songs, we started recording, you know, and then so we'd listen and we'd go, you know what, we did good takes on these, but the level is still something wrong here. It's not like pro level. So
What year is this?
this is around 94, 95. See, so it's pretty late there, you know. So wouldn't you say that was correct? Yeah, I think so. So we were like in this big hunt for why is there a veil over it in a sense? You know, why does it still sound? And again, this was at the beginning of digital recording. You know, the one thing the guy that I worked for at DJ said, you know what? Because I had the option to buy tape stuff back in the early 90s because I was working there. And he just said, you know what, I think you should go to digital and I think you should do the ADAT. And so that's what I did. So I used the ADAT, you know, recording. And then there was the company DigiDesign, which is the company that developed Pro Tools. They had made and again, I was in the PC world because that's where my helpers, friends were, you know, so I could have them as consultants. And so I got this thing called Session 8, and it was like the baby brother of Pro Tools. And so, but it could interface with my ADAT system, you know. So then I could have 8 tracks internally in Session 8 in a computer like 95. You're going, whoa, amazing! And then you got the ADAT that's talking to it, and they're both in sync. And then you could actually store the sessions on an ADAT. You know, so I was like the big fish in, you know, in this little pond of Joliet, you know, because nobody else had anything digital like that. You know, so we were doing lots of recordings, and then once I got into the computer, I could do more cleaning up and editing. But the real thing was, we really kind of thought about, you know, first of all, we maybe need some better guitars, you know. So then Joe knew a guy Wade that lived out in Philadelphia, who knew a guy who built, you know, pristine guitars, John Zeidler. And so we did a road trip. You know, we went out to.
So you're talking about custom built acoustic
guitars, acoustics, yeah. And so we went out there and we hung out with Wade, but then he introduced us to John, and John, you know, was a sensei of builder. You know, I mean, he was amazing. You know, he was articulate in that trade. Like, it was unbelievable. When I first went, this is a funny story. I even, in my album, on the album, when you go to jaskomusic.com, you know, I have about the songs, and I have this little story in there too. But there was when we first got to play the guitar, you know, I first felt a Zeidler guitar. And it was a cutaway. That's what I wanted. I wanted a kind of a cutaway. And I was playing. I was going, oh, man, every note rings. Every note is even. Every note is, you know, like true in a sense. And he was like setting up this guitar for one of his other clients and just doing some tweaking. And I just said, is this available, you know, for buying? And he goes, don't you think I can make another one like that? And I said, okay, fine, make another one like this, you know. So he made it. You know, it was a really beautiful guitar. It was mine was made out of, had a koa sides and back, and then he used always Adirondack spruce and ebony neck, you know. And it was just, you know, and it was smaller. And the thing about the way he built his guitars, you know, in terms of music wise, the fundamentals of the notes really ring. You know, so So
is it like a 3/4 scale?
No, it's regular auditorium size,
okay.
You know, acoustic. You know, but all the notes, you know, they didn't have like extra overtones or the bass wasn't, every note was very clear. And so then when Joe, you know, he says, well, I would like one too. And so Joe's was made out of Hurley maple, but he did it, and then he always used Adirondack spruce tops, you know, and so, but he made his a little bit bigger. It was almost like a baritone guitar, a little, you know, and so those were the two guitars we used for the album, you know, so the source material is as good as you can get, you know.